Hello readers, Kim Patton here doing another book review. Today it is on I Am David by Jimmy Evans, 10 Lessons in Greatness from Israel's Most Famous King. So if you're like me, the stories in the Bible that are most fascinating are the ones that are roller coaster of emotions, humans that have great emotions, humans that make a mess of their life, but also God redeems them in beautiful ways. I love the story of Joseph, although he didn't really make a mess of his life. He did pretty good. David is one, though, that depending on what the conversation is, you'll hear the amazing parts about David's personality and his leadership and his life story. And then you'll hear the difficult parts. You'll hear about how his sin messed up his family line for generations to come, but also Jesus came from the line of David. So why I love David is the Psalms. I can see he was a musician, he was a creative person, he was an emotional man, and that's how I can connect to him. But at the same time, he was also a fierce warrior. So there are so many facets to David that everyone finds very interesting. So basically, this book by Jimmy Evans is a character study that is so in depth into the life of David. And not in depth meaning so, heady that you can't process it. I mean in depth to the details of David's life, from the beginning of his life all the way to the end. I found it really interesting to read about David outside of the Bible, because not only did this author give me information about David and his life, but he made it really inspiring. He used the 10 lessons in greatness from David to inspire me to be great in my own personal life. And it was a little convicting, I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of, this is what David did wrong. And I'm thinking, I did that yesterday. So I learned a lot. I would say I recommend it to people who love character studies, especially of people in the Bible that they admire, look up to, or want to learn from. But this comes from a pastoral point of view, so it's very scripture-based, it's very scripture-heavy. There's not a lot of personal stories and anecdotes from the author. There is some. It was an interesting read. It was not extremely fast-paced, but he sprinkled enough in there to keep me engaged. So I would definitely recommend it. Jimmy Evans is a pastor in Texas, and he's written books before. This is the first that I've read from him. So it was a privilege to be able to read this book, and I would recommend it. I Am David, 10 Lessons in Greatness from Israel's Most Famous King. See you next time.